Hey everyone, Britt and Chris Carmichael here, bringing you the Elevated Life series where we teach you simple mindset shifts to create radical transformation in your life. And today's topic is an important one. Actually, every week's topic is important, but this one I think is really gonna hit home for so many of you. And we're gonna be teaching you today 3 simple ways to stop seeking approval. So many of us are looking outside of ourselves for validation or permission, and it's come to a point where we're suffering and we're feeling depressed and torn, and so many people's ideas are, we're allowing other people's weight to carry the decision of our life. And so we're going to teach you how to stop seeking approval today, so that you can be the leader of your own life. You can decide what it is that you want and stop asking your husband, your partner, your friend, your mama, whoever, the angels, who cares. Today is going to empower you to be the leader of your own life.
Yeah, so the question is, why do we even do this?
Good morning.
How did any of this get started? Why are we actually seeking approval in our life, and why has that become such a big deal? And the answer is, if you think back to childhood, if you think back to the times where your parents gave you the most love, approval, and praise, what ended up happening was because you were doing well. If you went in school and you did well, you made the grades that your parents wanted you to make, you played the sports they wanted you to play, you said the nice things to the neighbor that they wanted you to say, your parents showered you with love. And the second that you didn't do that, the second that you made the bad grades, or you let the ball roll in the soccer goal, or whatever the case was, or you just, said shit in front of the neighbors, or whatever the case may be, then you didn't get that love and approval. That got taken away and you felt punished. So as a child, we learned that if we do things other people like, they'll give us love. The problem is that doesn't work as an adult. It worked really well as a kid, but now it doesn't work.
Or they'll give you ice cream.
Yeah, give you ice cream, which everybody loves ice cream. I do. And so the idea is to start getting a place as you move into adulthood to stop, to set that aside, and to start allowing yourself to be that own leader, like Britt talked about, that own leader in your life.
Yeah. And before we dive into all of these beautiful tips that we have for you today, I just want to take a moment to say hello to everyone who's live watching. If you have a friend that would love this video, if you know someone that would be inspired, I almost said inspired again, inspired and empowered, then please tag them below, share this video. We appreciate the good karma and sharing the love. So hello, Laura. Hey, Erica. Hey, Emily. You've been on my mind, sister. I've been sending so much love to you in that little nugget in there. And go ahead and leave where you are watching from. Laura says good evening here. She's watching from Spain, guys. So say hello. Where are you watching from? And do you struggle with seeking approval? And if so, who are you seeking approval from? This is a really important question to dive a little deeper. Are you seeking approval from yourself? Are you seeking approval from your boss, your peers, your partner, your mom? You would not believe, maybe you're one of them, you would not believe how many women still feel like, well, what will my parents think, or what will my family think? And they're like 40 years old. Like, are you kidding me? Like, come on, guys. We need to reclaim our power, because like Chris said, you've been seeking their approval since you were born. And it's time to put a stop to that and approve of yourself. And we're going to share 3 ways how to do that.
Yeah, so the first way to do that is to develop your own self-esteem. Self-esteem is something only you can do, and it has so much to do with how you view yourself. What is your self-image? Do you see yourself capable? Do you see yourself as that you can do all these possibilities that you set up for your life? Do you see yourself being able to accomplish your goals? Because when you start doing that, a lot of other people's opinions start to become really irrelevant. And, despite the fact that it does feel good with the love and approval, you don't need it. So it's like one of those add-ons. In other words, if you wear shoes only so that people will compliment you, that's a problem. If you wear them because you love them, and if other people compliment them, then that's something nice that goes along with it, then you've nailed it. So it's the exact same thing. So start building your own self-esteem. Be your own cheerleader. Notice that you say, hey, this is what I want in life. This is what I'm going to go after. If nobody likes what I'm doing, so what? I'm enjoying myself, because in the end, the sad truth is that in some ways we all die alone. And so it's important to live your life in a way that nurtures and matures your own talents and gifts, and you let everyone else have their own opinion and keep it there.
Erica says general external validation, the A+ Gold Star Awards. Well, the good news is if you give yourself the validation, you'll begin to attract opportunities into your life that will give you those papers and gold stars on the wall that you think are important.
Get your own stickers.
Make your own fucking certificates, people. Like, certify yourself that life taught you everything you know, and that you are worthy and capable of receiving abundance and being here. You're freaking here, so enjoy it. Jess says, I was guilty of that until about 5 years ago. It was only after my hubby was like, WTF, basically. We all need a good partner in our life, whether it's a husband or a friend, who can help you objectively look at your life and say, WTF, what are you doing? And you guys know we do that to each other all the time, as well as we do it to you guys when we're working with our coaching clients. So it's always important to have that outside of perspective that you trust and appreciate. Not like, oh, will you approve of me? Will you approve of me? But I have a go-to partner, and I say, hey, am I being crazy in my life, or am I like in my right mind? I just can't see so clearly. I'm in the middle of my own storm. And it's important to have that person, but not to let them be the final decision for your life. You know, consult and counsel and get the advice and the wisdom, and then use your own internal wisdom and your own feelings and knowingness. Like, this does really feel right for me, and I'm glad I had someone to bounce this idea off of so that I could see more clearly. But I'm not going to him and going, do you think the shirt's okay? Is this okay if I wear this shirt? Never. No.
Yeah, so the idea here is let them help you.
Plus, it's girl power. I mean, come on. Like,
let people help you. That's always a great thing to do, but don't let them decide for you. Again, as a kid, that made a lot of sense. As an adult, you got to wipe that out. So the second big thing you want to focus on after you've started nailing the self-esteem is to focus your energy, efforts, and life around the things that matter the most to you. And a lot of times this means saying no to other people, because if you're working so diligently and so hard on your projects, the big deal is you're either working on your projects or you're thinking about working on your projects. In other words,
or you're Instagramming.
Yeah. How can I scale this better? How can I do this faster? How can I get the support that I need? When you're so focused, when you're so in tune with those things that you know you need to do, those things that you know will move the needle forward in your life, you don't have time to worry about other people's opinions. Again, it's that irrelevancy thing. It's like their opinions, while nice, aren't important. What's important is for you to drive forward on the things that you know that matter. So that's the second step. Focus on the things that just matter to you.
So here on The Elevated Life, we're constantly teaching you guys how to up-level your life in every different category, from spirituality to success to health to relationships. And so it's all about intentional living and deciding what is it that I most want and need in my life right now. And when you set the intention, you begin to take aligned action. So really quick, before we move on to the third tip for you guys today, I want you guys to take a moment to get intentional, to get clear, to look inside and ask yourself, what do I need to focus on in my life right now that I can start taking more aligned action that will put me in the next level that I'm wanting to play at? We're not here wanting to stay mediocre and sit in our comfort zone forever. We are wanting to grow. And if you're stifling your growth, that's probably why you're feeling depressed or sad or confused. So you're wanting to grow. It's a natural thing. All of life is evolving and growing. You plant a seed, it grows. I mean, if you give it the space and nurturing. And your intention is the space and nurturing that your dreams need in order to start coming to fruition. So if you're living your most intentional life right now, what do you want to focus on? What do you intend to happen? Do you want to be more healthy in your body? Do you want to make more abundance in your business so that you can travel more or give back more? What is it that you want to create in your life? Setting this intention and creating and wrapping your mind around this focus on what is it that I most want right now and not what I don't want. And so many of you are focusing on what you don't want, and you're getting it. You're getting a lot of it. And you're wondering, why the hell is this happening to me? It's because you're focusing on what you don't want. So right here in the comments below, set an intention. What will you focus on so that you can create more of that in your life? Because what you focus on tends to expand. So are you going to focus on bringing more joy into the moment? Are you going to focus on eating healthier and cleaner, not buying the snacks at the store? What are you going to focus on? Leave your intention in the comments below.
And make this something that's just for you. This is just a benefit for you. Not a benefit for your partner, not a benefit for your kids, although it always carries over into that, because as we do things that we know we need to do, our children, our spouses, our friends, they notice it too, and they go, ooh, that person's really going after what they want. I bet I can do that too. I probably can do that. And so you start inspiring other people. A lot of people say, well, I really want to be inspirational. The way that you're inspirational is you lead a life that you love. It doesn't take more steps than that. You don't have to get on stage and motivate people and do a lot of rah-rah stuff. It's you living that life and inspiring everybody who comes into your presence.
I Am Turtle Woman says, I'm going to chase my joy. Well, here's the thing. You don't even have to chase it. It's not a butterfly. It's not elusive. Joy is a natural state of being that if you just open up and say, I am joyous, I feel grateful right now, and focus on something in the present moment. And that's our third tip, is live in the present moment. When you are present, when you're here, if you're here watching us right now, you're most likely present, unless you're doing some other task, but you're here, you're focused, you're in the moment. And when you're in the moment, you will naturally tune into joy because you start seeing, wow, look at how beautiful my life is. It's when we project out into the future or we carry the burdens of the past that limit our availability of joy because we're in our thinking mind and we're not present in our heart.
Yeah, if you're staring into the barrel of the past, or if you're still always looking forward into the future, you cannot recognize the miracles because all miracles only happen in the present moment. Remember, the past is a memory. We're making it up. And the future is also something that we're making up. The future doesn't actually happen. It only happens as the present. So it's this moment, and now it's this moment, and now it's this moment. So the future doesn't really exist. It just exists in our mind. And so what you have to do is start living in that present moment. And what will end up happening is all of those worries and all those anxieties and, well, what if this person doesn't like me? Or what if I do something that makes this person mad? And all the, you don't worry about that stuff anymore. You just let it happen how life plays out. And how the other person reacts really says a lot about them and not so much about you.
Yeah, TC Lynette says, very hard to do at times in a busy world. Well, it's not hard, it just takes practice. And if you're not willing to do the practice, we default into this mindset of this label that it's hard and I don't have to do that. You know, it was hard for me to get up and want to do squats and lunges and sweat my ass off this morning, but I know what it feels like to be overweight and 200 pounds, and I'm willing to do the hard work to, and it's not really that hard. You just have to push yourself one step past that, getting outside your comfort zone, and then it's easy, it's effortless. I enjoyed the workout. Sure, my legs felt like jello, but today, at the end of the day, tomorrow, I'm gonna feel more empowered and more healthy in my body because I pushed past the hard work to get to the fruit of my labor.
Yeah, and
sound like an old lady.
and we're gonna leave you with the this is my
discipline. Yeah, exactly.
This is my hardcore lesson for this thing. We're gonna get straight to the nut cutting. This is exactly how I view it. And if you adopt this opinion for a little bit of time, if you adopt this way of thinking, you'll see if this works for you. And that is, if you are not paying me, or we are not sleeping with each other, your opinion is not that important. And not that I don't care, it's just that it doesn't really matter. And so when you start living that way, when people comment and you're on the street, or when people write that Facebook message, or when people comment on your YouTube videos, or whatever the case may be, let them. It's okay. It's not that. Let them do that. You stay present, stay with yourself, stay with your breathing, know that you've got plenty of self-esteem, know that you're focusing on just your passions and you're living in that present moment, and notice how all those criticisms that you worried about, all those anxieties just kind of fade off into the distance. You're like, how did I ever even entertain that? It's just a different way of thinking. Remember, worry and anxiety are conditioned mental habits. We've practiced them so much that we've gotten used to them. We've sought approval for so long, we've gotten used to doing that. So what you have to do instead is slightly change your way of thinking and just not let it bother you. And just say, make that declaration. If you say, hey, I'm not gonna let it bother me today. It's not gonna be a big deal to me. And when you make that declaration, you have that intention. If something comes up, you go, nope, I wasn't gonna let that bother me. We're just gonna skip over. I've even heard of people getting on like an Upwork or a virtual assistant type thing and delegate worrying. So they pay someone else to worry for them. Say, hey, for $10 an hour, I'm gonna pay you to worry for me. Try that. Try it. Let your worries go. Let all that stuff go. And what you'll notice is that you stop seeking that approval. Okay,
TC Lynette, you and I need to have a talk. She says reframing or retraining is hard and consistent, and I can't wait to be at that point. TC Lynette, you can be at that point in this fucking moment. You can decide right now that it's not hard anymore, that it's actually easy and effortless, and you'll begin to see energies and emotions start coming up that need to be released, and beliefs that no longer are in alignment with what you're wanting. You're wanting more peace, and you're wanting to be present. You're wanting to feel more joy, and you want it to be easy, because 2 of your lines today have said it's hard too. It's hard to do a lot of things, but people are still doing them, so it's possible. If there's a possibility that it can be done, then it isn't that hard. It's just going to take practice and determination, dedication, and focus. And if it's something that is truly what you want, it won't be that hard because you'll be so fucking passionate and motivated to go after it that you'll just say, you know what, nothing's gonna stop me. When I wanted to be a hairdresser, I didn't let anyone's opinion of I'm too smart, I should go to college. I didn't let anyone's opinion of like, oh, well, you're never gonna be successful. I hit 6 figures at 20 years old as a hairdresser. I didn't go to college. Granted, I was ranked 10th with a 3.85 GPA. I knew that I was smart enough not to go to college. But if I would have listened to everyone else, and if I would have been seeking approval, like, is this the right choice for me to make? And asked my mom and all of my college advisors, then I would have followed their path from what they believe is the successful way to go about living this life and creating a business on this planet. And it's BS. Do you understand? It's BS. It's how many of you are working a miserable corporate job building someone else's dream and your soul is sucked dry, but you followed the rules and you went to college and you did the thing and you go on. You know what I'm saying? I didn't do any of that. And it was hard in the beginning because so many people were saying, don't do that. You can't do that. You're not good enough. You're going to fail. How are you going to be successful? Who are you? You're only 19 years old. Or how are you going to own a salon? And you know what? I ignored the haters because they're always going to be there, and I went after it anyway. So what is the approval that you're currently seeking? What do you need? What are you waiting for someone to swoop down with angel wings and say, hey, you're good enough, you can do it finally? Whose approval are you waiting for? And what specifically are you waiting to be approved?
We all get married, and then we all start, this career. We climb the corporate ladder, we do these kinds of things, and a lot of times we forget to live during that experience and we miss exactly what's going on that's so beautiful around us all the time. Remember, life's happening now, not in the future, just like we talked about earlier. And it's so important to tap into that internal power that you already have that knows exactly what to do and exactly how to do it. And it doesn't seek approval from anyone. We can't change the world by being like it. We can only change the world by being that fantastic individual that we already are and to push forward with those gifts that we know we already have. And so it's so important to start tapping into the space inside you and to have that confidence. Remember, confidence is not going into a room and just saying, oh my gosh, everybody's gonna like me. Confidence is going to the room saying, I don't care what happens. I'm just going to go in and be my best self because that's all I can show up as today. And so when you start doing that, so much of this stuff just becomes so easier. Like you're talking about, when you frame things as it's hard, it's going to be hard. When you frame things as like, it may be a little bit difficult because I haven't done this before, but I can push through and then it'll be made way easier because I'll practice it on a regular basis. It becomes easy. So let these things, these tips be easy for you. Let them integrate into your life in a very simple way that nourishes you and allows you to go forward.
So let's recap on the 3 ways to stop seeking approval that we've shared here today. 1, develop self-esteem, and that's by loving and honoring yourself. Find within you what it is you feel like you're not worthy of and give yourself permission to expand, to grow into it, to allow more of worthiness in around whatever category that you're blocking yourself from feeling that way. 2, focus your life and energy on the efforts around what matters most to you. What is the intention you're setting today? What kind of life do you want to live? Chris and I decided we wanted to live a relaxed, calm, and balanced life. We see so many people overachieving and working all hours of the night and burning out and being tired and exhausted and stressed out. None of that happens here. None of that happens here. It used to, but we decided to set an intention that we're going to change our life and we're going to set up the boundaries that we need to put in place in order to live a more balanced life where we're not always overgiving. We're not working till midnight because we can, but we don't want to because that is what we found knocks us off our game. So what is the intention that you're going to set? Where are you going to focus your energy around what's going to move the needle forward for you? What do you need most or more of in your life right now? And the third thing is to live in the present moment. Life is happening in the present. Like Chris said, it's a moment-to-moment experience that we categorize as past and future because we've already experienced that moment or we haven't yet experienced it. So if you can bring your awareness and attune your attention to this moment right here, you will never miss the miracles that are happening in your life, especially if you cultivate gratitude for all of the beauty that's surrounding you in this moment.
Woo! Happy Friday.
Okay, thank you for sharing your lives and knowledge. Absolutely. We love sharing everything that we've learned along our journeys, our lifetimes, and we love sharing even more tips and resources with you inside our Elevated Life Membership Club. So if you aren't a part of that and you want to be, go ahead and check out brittanycarmichael.com/membership or reach out, send us a private message. We'll be happy to share more details. We join you live every single Friday here for the Elevated Life series for free, but we also have an awesome membership club where we join you every month for 90 minutes live, and we deep dive into each one of these topics that we bring up here on the Elevated Life. Because once you understand the actual basics, like the basis for living a joyful and happy life, it's really, really easy, guys. But we haven't been taught that, and we have to reprogram and remove the conditioning and the beliefs and the cultural oppression that we've picked up along the way. And yeah, it can be hard, but only if you make it. It really is easy to live an elevated life, and we're here to teach you guys that.
Ooh. Love you guys.
Have a beautiful weekend. Laura says it's totally worth it. Join the Elevated Life. Thank you, Laura. I'm so glad that you're a special part of our elevators. It's so fun to join you guys and share all of our wisdom. This is our mission. This is our intention for life, is we have come to a place where we have found bliss and joy and unlimited peace. And we know that each and every one of you have the ability to access that within you now. You don't have to wait. You don't have to have a certain amount of money, a certain job, or a certain situation to bring you that unlimited blissful peace that you're searching for.
Yeah, life can already be amazing. You
Absolutely.
Just have to experience it. You have to be in that present moment to be able to see those miracles.
I need this. Needed to hear this right now. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad this resonated with you guys. Thank you so much. If you guys are interested in joining our membership club, of course, you can go to brittanycarmichael.com/membership or shoot us a private message and we'll be happy to share more details. We are so thrilled to join you every Friday here for the Elevated Life series at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. So be sure to tune in next week. And if you know somebody who would love this message and it would inspire them to see life in a new way, then please tag them below or share this on your wall. We appreciate all the good karma and the good vibes that you guys spread for us. Crystal says, it gets hard, but it's worth it.
Worth it.
It's true. Sometimes life is hard, but it's how you mentally approach it. You know, doing these squats, like I said this morning, that mentally was hard. I didn't want to do it, but physically I got up and did it. So we mentally tell ourselves it's hard before we even take the action, and we psych ourselves out. So know that life is easy, and you really can live a blissful and peaceful life right here, right now, with no matter what scenario.
Bye, guys.
Bye.